Hello, how you doing? It's Phil Thatch, and tonight I'm here at the Barrel House Ballroom, and there are a couple of local bands that I like a lot are going to be playing, and I'm going to try to make photographs of them with my new little camera, the Sony a6700. I'll be using the Sigma 18 to 50 2.8, and I also brought the Sony 11mm 1.8, but just in case I need a little more focal length, I also have my Canon R6 Mark II and the 70 to 200 2.8. This is a new venue. I've never worked here before, but it looks like it has fantastic lights, so I'm pretty excited about it. Here are my images from Red Pond that night at Barrel House Ballroom. It was really awesome. Let's take a look at them. I ended up using the Sony a6700 and the Sigma 18 to 50 2.8 for every single one of these shots. I shot all of them at f2.8. I accidentally had my camera in electronic shutter mode at the beginning of the show. I knew I needed mechanical, but I started out in electronic, and in some of the early shots you may see a little bit of banding, and then I realized, holy crap, I have the camera in electronic mode, switched it to mechanical shutter, and the banding went away. I shot all the shots wide open at f2.8, and for the first majority of the show I was shooting auto ISO, and later I switched to manual ISO, and of course I was always at manual shutter speed and manual aperture. So here they are, Red Pond, great local band, very entertaining to watch. You can find their music, only one song so far is on Apple Music. I'm assuming that same song is on Spotify, and they also have 2 videos that I'll link at the end of this video. Super cool, both of the videos are very entertaining, and the music is really good from this band. The stage had mostly, of course you want white light on your subject, and usually during most parts of the show there was white light only in the center and colored light on the rest of the stage, which is not optimal, but it's better than not having white light anywhere on the stage. And here's an example of that. You can see the entire band, and the only person that's in white light is the singer, which is TJ Griever. He's a famous local Chattanooga musician who's been in a number of bands, and I really like this band, Red Pond, that he's got going right now. And I think you may be able to see a little bit of banding in these lights right here. If you're not really looking for it, you won't see it, but there is some banding because stupidly I was in electronic shutter mode. Love this shot. Even though, I could have raised the shadows quite a bit, but this is straight out of the camera. I was shooting in HEIF because Lightroom doesn't support the RAW files from the a6700 yet. I know you can use Camera Raw and import into or convert to DNG, but I didn't feel like doing that with all these pictures, so I just used the HEIF files. I didn't edit this at all. I cropped it, I straightened it, and I ran it through Topaz Denoise, but it hasn't been edited. This is the way it looked coming out of the camera other than the denoise process. Over here on the other side of the stage where the keyboard player was, very dark over here, but auto ISO only dialed me up to 2000 ISO. You can see all the settings up here in the top left. Shutter speed 1/250th, aperture is 2.8, and all these, and the ISOs up here. And you'll see these as TIFFs, and that's because when you export from Lightroom to go through Topaz, Topaz sends them back as a TIFF. Topaz Denoise. The drummer was very dark most of the night, and of course I really could have used a longer focal length to get the drummer, so this photo's cropped a pretty good bit, but there's the drummer. Look at the bass player. He's got his beard, looks like it's on fire. That's kind of neat. Great bass player, by the way. Really, really great. All the musicians in the band are really talented. Got a number of pictures of him, and most of the time he was in colored light, but I just happened to be on his side of the stage in this shot and a couple of others when he was in white light, and for just the briefest moment the drummer was in bright light while I had a good shot at him. So I was happy to get this shot finally of the drummer in decent light. Of course it has to be cropped a bunch because I was at 50 millimeters, which is 75 millimeters full frame equivalent, and really I probably could have used 150 millimeters to get this shot better. And there they are both, the drummer and the bass player, the rhythm section as it were, enjoying themselves. Still some fairly white light on the drummer, but also some green light coming through. They were just having a really great time. Man, if you ever get a chance to go see Red Pond, you definitely should. They put on a great show. Really, really great. Very enjoyable. Here's the guitarist on the right-hand side of the stage. He's got a Super Strat with some humbuckers in it, and I like that they match the color scheme of the band, which is red, white, and black. And so his guitar matches that as well, which is kind of cool. Great for photography, and it's a nice look for the band. There's TJ Griever. He has several wardrobe changes through the show, which is entertaining, and he's an amazing showman, plus a talented singer. He's a great guitar player as well, but in this particular band, he doesn't play guitar. I enjoyed the light on the guitarist during this section. And here's another full shot. I'm not sure exactly when I have the electronic shutter turned off, but I don't see any banding in this shot, so I think I must be on mechanical by now. Still using auto ISO. I'm at 2000 ISO, 1/250th. I think when I switched to manual ISO, I set it at 1600. Here's another shot. Yeah, see, this one's bounced up to 4000 ISO just because the lighting conditions changed. And of course, the lights are constantly changing at a live show like this. And this particular shot had great light, especially on TJ here. He's well lit, but not overexposed. 5000 ISO. Only thing I don't like about this shot is TJ's blocking the drummer. I wish he was over here or over here just a little bit. Otherwise, really love the way this shot turned out. Back to the keyboard player. He's playing, I think that's a Moog synthesizer that he's got on his top level there that he's playing. Lots of rich sound from this band and really cool rhythms. They're kind of like almost a prog metal band, kind of, but with also kind of a 90s sound. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but they're really cool. There's the guitarist with the Super Strat. No whammy bar on it, which I thought was interesting. Great guitar player, though. They played mostly originals, but they also played Blue Oyster Cult's Burning for You, and they played a Nine Inch Nails song as well, which was cool. Both of them. Awesome. Love the colors in this. And the colors in this are nice, too. The purple and the blue in the background kind of went well with the red, white, and black uniform of the band. Really cool to get to see this band. And this venue, it's the first time I've ever done photography in this venue. Now this shot was in the same series as these, but this one I did adjust the white balance. I took a dab of color off of his shirt, and I kind of like the non-corrected white balance version better than the corrected version. Your opinion may vary. Back to non-corrected. I just didn't want to correct the white balance in every single one of these, and I kind of liked the white balance looking like the lights were making it look. On this one, TJ's out on top of one of the bass cabinets for the PA system there at the Barrel House Ballroom. Just awesome. What a cool show. He's just such a showman. They had a projector that had a red pawn, and a lot of times it was shining on TJ, so it looks like he's got a red pawn on his pants, but it's just a projector shooting that at him. You can see the projector here shooting where it's supposed to be going. TJ. More TJ. Love the lights in that place. Like I say, this is the first time I've ever done photography at Barrel House Ballroom, and it's a great venue. It's a lot smaller than the other local venue, which is The Signal, which I've shot at a number of times, but it's also a lot more intimate. I really like this place, and the sound is good, and the lights are good. Little halo shot there. That one turned out just right. There's the bass player getting down. Another full stage shot. TJ's on his knees in this one, and this one as well. Pretty decent crowd there, a couple of local bands, no big out-of-town draw, but the Chattanooga music scene is pretty good, and people know the bands that are good, and they go to the shows, and this one had a nice crowd. There's TJ off the ground, as he often is, and now he's off the ground again, and off the ground again, and you'll notice another wardrobe change. He's lost his jacket and his cowboy hat, and he's gone with a baseball hat this time. A lot of fun. You can see over here, here's the rest of his wardrobe. He would just change on stage. He wouldn't go off stage and change. He would just get his whatever clothes he was going to wear off of this stand and get back to work. Here he is. I was on the ground where people behind me could see over me with no problem, and he came up right in front of me, and I got this shot in mixed lighting. He was halfway in the spotlight and halfway not in the spotlight. It turned out kind of cool. And this is the shot I wanted to get. He only did 2 kicks like this during the entire show, and I got lucky and caught one of them, so I was really happy with this. This was during the eponymous song Red Pawn. You can listen to it on Apple Music, and there's also a Red Pawn video that I'll link to at the end of this, and there's one other video. There's the guitar player. It looks like he's lost his jacket and is still jamming. He's center stage now, so he's got better light on him. So that's cool with his Super Strat. And during the Red Pawn song, the keyboard player does a keyboard solo with a Roland keytar, is what I like to call him. There's probably another name for that. And so he's finally out from his rack of keyboards, and the guys were pretending to worship him while he was doing his solo, which was fun. And he was having a good time soaking up the attention while he was out from behind his keyboard rack, as you can see in these shots. And there's the bass player, got a little bright light on him for a moment, which is always good, with his burning beard. And now under a heavy red light, which I didn't color correct at all. I thought it looked cool. I liked the interplay between light and shadow in this, and I just left it alone. So that is the last shot of Red Pawn at the Barrel House Ballroom with my new A6700 and my new Sigma 18-50 f2.8 lens. The entire combination costs less than 2,000 bucks. It's definitely punching above its weight because it's hard on a camera to make good concert photos, and I think the little A6700 did a really great job. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and make sure to check out the 2 Red Pawn videos that I'll link at the end of this video. Bye-bye.